took them 80 days to find the body, but it would take 4 years to find the man who put it there. A ghost, a killer who smiled for the cameras while the secret rotted in the ground, waiting to be heard. Her name was Yara Gambaro. Friday, November 26, 2010. In Brembate di Sopra, shops were closing, street lamps flickered to life, and at the local sports center, a young gymnast tied her shoelaces and waved goodbye to her friends. Her path home? Barely 700 meters. A simple walk she had taken countless times before. But that night, something went wrong. She sent a quick text message. Then nothing. Minutes passed. Hours. Her family waited at home, unease turning to dread. By midnight, they called the police. The next morning, the hunt began. Dozens of volunteers joined police officers, searching fields, rivers, abandoned buildings. Posters went up. News stations. Had she run away? Had she been taken? Was she alive? For days, hope battled against fear. But there were no clues, no footprints. And then, silence stretched into weeks. Parents no longer let their children walk alone. Doors were locked earlier. And in every home, one question echoed. Where is Yara? 3 months later, on February 26, 2011, a grim discovery shattered. In an open field in Cignolo di Isola, a body lay hidden, decomposed, broken. It was Yara. The autopsy revealed stab wounds, cuts, blunt force trauma to the skull, but no signs of sexual assault. Yara had fought. She had suffered. And then she had been left to die. Alone. It was terrified. Forensic teams worked tirelessly. They scoured her clothing, every fiber, every stain. And then, a discovery. A tiny trace of DNA. Not hers. A man's. A man the investigators didn't know. A man they would call unknown. The unknown one. And thus began the largest manhunt Italy had ever seen. Police swabbed DNA samples from over 20,000 people. Villagers, workers, students, entire families. But every test ended the same way. Not a match. The unknown one remained a shadow. Rumors spread like wildfire. Was it a stranger passing through? Was it someone in the town? Months turned into years. Pressure mounted. And the Gambaro family lived each day with grief, waiting for justice. Investigators tested truck drivers, construction workers, immigrants, even priests. They chased anonymous tips, whispers, and false confessions. Every lead collapsed. Every path ended in darkness. Until a name appeared from the shadows of the past. Partial DNA match emerged. But to a dead man, Giuseppe Garanoni, a bus driver, long buried, innocent of the crime, yet his DNA was undeniably linked to the killer. How? Investigators dug deeper, and they uncovered a secret. Garanoni had fathered an illegitimate child decades earlier, a child who had grown up in silence, hidden from public knowledge. That child had passed on his bloodline, and somewhere among his descendants, the DNA trail grew clearer, and it led straight to a man named Massimo Giuseppe Bassetti. He was a construction worker, a husband, a father of 3. He lived just kilometers away from Yara's home. To his neighbors, he was ordinary, quiet, hardworking, but his DNA told a different story. It was a perfect match. After nearly 4 years of searching, the ghost finally had a name. On June 16, 2014, police moved in. Bassetti was taken away in handcuffs. When told why, he denied everything. He insisted he had never met Yara. But science said otherwise. His DNA was there on her clothes. Clear. Undeniable. For investigators, it was over. But for Bassetti, it was only the beginning of a fight to prove his innocence. In 2016, the verdict came. Guilty. Massimo Giuseppe Bassetti was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Yara Gambaro. His appeals were denied. His protests of innocence unheard. To this day, he maintains he is not the killer. Yara Gambaro's story is not just about a crime. It's about fear, obsession, and the relentless pursuit of truth. a pursuit that changed Italian justice forever.